Hello everyone, I'm Brior, and welcome back to Goodgame Empire. First, my apologies on what will probably be some pretty questionable audio in today's video. I'm at home, which means I don't have access to the fantastic microphone that I normally use, and instead I'm using my phone. I've noticed that with my phone, sometimes there's a lot of popping when I say P or B or some letter like that, and a lot of air hits the microphone. This will probably be easier to listen to if you're not wearing headphones, but anyways, it's the best I can do for today, so I hope it works. The other reason today's audio might be questionable is I'm actually outside, God forbid. There's construction going on in my house, my favorite, and so I've come out here to nature, and that means if I get attacked by a bear during today's broadcast, you'll hear it. Anyways, now to the content at hand. Today's video is going to be a recap for various updates that were applied to the game in the month of March. I was not planning on doing this video because I looked at the March updates post on the forums and concluded that there was not enough content for me to actually make a video about it. But a few hours ago, earlier today, Goodgame Studios released their plan, their roadmap as they call it, for Quarter 2 in 2019. That post contained some fairly interesting details that have convinced me to make this video. So let's start with the detail that I almost certainly included in the thumbnail and in the video title. The Alliance City event will never be returning to Goodgame Empire. The last news we heard about this event actually came back, I think, in either November or December, and it was also on the forums. Goodgame Studios said that they were planning to bring this event back to the game. I think it's been a few years, actually, since the event was run. A lot of players, myself included, really enjoyed it. Here's how it went. Each alliance had its own city that it could invest in, could build various buildings, I'm showing you right now on the screen, and conduct various upgrades to make it easier to defend the city. Other alliances could anonymously attack the city to steal various kinds of currency, and players got rewards on an individual basis and also on a basis of how well their alliance did, with the best alliance receiving some special titles and some pretty fantastic rewards that lasted for about a month. For whatever reason, Goodgame Studios decided that this event was too broken to keep running. I don't actually remember it being that bugged. I think some events that are running in the game are more bugged than this one ever was, but they've worked on it for a number of years and apparently have finally decided that it will not be making a comeback in Goodgame Empire. This is disappointing news, and there are a few different things to be worried about. For example, for players who bought some equipment from this event but could not complete the entire set, will there be any compensation? I assume that by this point, years later, that set would not have fantastic stats anyways, but I would still like to see those players get compensated in some shape or form. Goodgame Studios has confirmed that they will compensate alliances. Alliances, of course, invested in those alliance cities that I talked about earlier. Not only did they invest with coins, rubies, stone, and wood, but these alliance cities also required kingdom resources to be upgraded. So it remains to be seen what exactly Goodgame Studios will give in compensation to these alliances, but I'm happy that at least there will be some compensation in this regard. Goodgame Studios stated that their reason for not bringing this event back into the game was that they couldn't find a way to make it so that it was both fair and fun for the players. As imbalanced as the original version of the event may have been, it's been a while so I don't exactly remember, I do think that most players did enjoy this event, so maybe Goodgame Studios never should have made any changes. Anyways, I don't think we'll know their full rationale for 86ing this event anytime soon, but maybe they'll make a follow-up post on the forums if people complain too much. Alright, I think I've droned on about that for long enough, so let's move on and talk about some of the other news for the month of March. After this month and moving forward, upgrade and construction tokens will be playing a bigger role in the game. I spoke last month in the updates video about how there are new levels for the barracks, and you will be able to recruit 2 different kinds of relic troops. These troops are very expensive, even if you have the recruitment costs barracks build item applied, and so for most players, I don't think that these troops will be particularly useful. However, if you do make a lot of coins, if you are a top player, and you want to use coin troops in PvP, then I suppose these troops might be interesting for you. That's kind of outside my ability to test, especially when I'm not 100% active in the game. So if I find out any more information about those, I'll keep you posted. There have also been some additional upgrades to the encampment, also using construction and upgrade tokens. Players will now be able to have a maximum of 35 commanders available in the game once they have finished upgrading their encampment. The only complaint I have about this is that I wish the encampment could be upgraded with regular resources, but more commanders is always going to be a good thing, especially when Goodgame Studios has been adding so much new equipment into the game recently. So there you go. In other news, there have also been some additions in terms of build items for the bakery. Bakery build items increase your food storage, and the brand new level 15 food storage build item will add 100,000 units of food to your castle's capacity. Now, this will almost certainly only be available through ruby offers and for real money in the game, which is disappointing, but there's the chance that lower level food storage build items will become available for free-to-play players, so keep your eyes open for that. That might be something to be excited about. I also had some revelations this month about the Relic Greenhouse, which we've talked about in multiple videos in the past. As you guys know, this building increases both your food production and your food storage, so it's a really good building to have, although once again, you will need construction and upgrade tokens to build it. Anyways, the revelation that I had was that you can actually put multiple copies of this building in any one of your castles. In fact, it doesn't appear like there's a limit. However, the workload of this building is shared with granaries. So, for example, I've put in a relic greenhouse now in the Burning Sands. In the Burning Sands, the fields here offer full capacity, that's 100% workload, for 2 granaries. However, because I built this relic greenhouse, it is now operating at 100% workload, and 1 granary is operating at 100% workload. So if I were to build another, I wouldn't have any granaries working at 100%. Does that make sense? Anyways, because relic greenhouses do produce so much more food than granaries, it's still going to be advantageous to build multiple of them. I wouldn't worry about the workload of your granaries too much. However, as players continue to collect construction and upgrade tokens, what will stop them from just building a whole castle full of relic greenhouses, for example? I suppose that once your workload for your relic greenhouses reaches a certain point, maybe only 10% or maybe just 0%, it wouldn't be advantageous to keep building them. However, relic greenhouses do also increase your food storage. So if you could build a whole castle full of relic greenhouses, your food storage would be hundreds and hundreds of thousands of units, perhaps more than 1 million. Now, at some point, because your workload for your latest relic greenhouse would be so low, let's just say 0% for the sake of argument, your relic greenhouse wouldn't be producing any food, but it still would raise your storage capacity. However, in order to build that relic greenhouse, you would have to get rid of a public order item, which would mean that your food production would go down. So in the future, we might have a scenario where players have to prioritize either food production or food storage, but that would be quite a ways in the future, and I imagine if Goodgame Studios doesn't already have some kind of food storage cap, they would implement that in the future. So we'll just have to see how that turns out. But there you go. Also, in the month of March, the Shapeshifter Castellan was added back into the game. I've talked about this Castellan set in previous videos, so I'll leave a link to that in the description, and I won't waste your time talking about it anymore here. My opinion on that has not changed. Now, the only other things for the month of March were a rerun of the Collector's event. This time it was called the Hive Mind, and you could collect bees. And once again, that event is inconsequential, but some people enjoy it, so I'm happy for them. And then there were also some additional appearance build items. Again, those are inconsequential as well. So let's shift focus now and talk more about Goodgame Studios' plan for Q2 2019. First, I'll note that this thread was posted by a brand new community manager on the forums, so welcome to, I believe it's Kromkruach? That would be my attempt to pronounce it, but who knows if that's right. Anyways, welcome to the community. It appears that community manager Alpanolo has unfortunately moved on. Now, the Q2 post on the forums does tease a new feature that will be called the Legion of the Daimyos. It doesn't actually tell us anything about what this new feature will be like, but Daimyos is a real word, which means that I can be confident I'm pronouncing it correctly, and we can reasonably infer that this will be an add-on to the samurai invasion. A daimyo is a Japanese lord from the feudal period. I think it's exceptionally likely that this new add-on will be very similar to the Khan Camp, which was of course added to the Nomad invasion. That mechanic works pretty well, so if the daimyos was a carbon copy of the Khan Camp, then I wouldn't be mad, but I'd be a little bit disappointed. I'm hopeful that Goodgame Studios can come up with a slightly different mechanic to make the samurai invasion unique. If you'll remember, when the samurai invasion was added to the game years and years ago, at the very beginning, it had a feature called the Path to Enlightenment. I'll show you a clip of that feature from a video that was filmed a very long time ago. Anyways, this Path to Enlightenment feature made the samurai invasion unique, and after Goodgame Studios removed it, the samurai invasion was essentially the same thing as the nomads. It appears the developers are looking into ways to further incentivize participation in the Outer Realms event, possibly because not enough players are currently participating. Of course, the Outer Realms event is one of the only ways in the game right now you can get construction and upgrade tokens, so I think more players will participate to get these new currencies, given how important they are becoming. However, Goodgame Studios has also mentioned that they will be looking into ways to make gameplay in the Outer Realms more fun, by, for example, running temporary boosters such as faster recruitment time, lower food consumption, and even an attack bonus or two. So keep your eye on the Outer Realms because it may start to become more fun and more worthwhile. Goodgame Studios has postponed changes to the hospital, and they're still working on adding a new level of rarity to the equipment system. I'm looking forward to that one. They're also still working on changes to the Battle for Bearmond, so that that event can finally be run till its completion. At any rate, with all of those things mentioned, I think that's it for this month, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, I've been Brior, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Also, I didn't get attacked by a bear, that was nice.